Welcome to Brooklyn. We're live. We're here in Brooklyn at finally Mels Celebrity Barbershop. Some of the best celebrities have come through here to get their hair cut and showcase to the world. But today we got a little special program for y'all. Today we got a story about health and healing. We got the one and only Dr. Kang from Grandpa's Secret. If you're not familiar, check out www.grandpasecret.com. He was brought here by the powerful pioneers to share information in Brooklyn. And what we're going to do is we're going to help a lot of people. We can help a lot of people in our community. We can help people in your family. Any disease, any ailment that people are dealing with, Dr. Kang already has solutions for. So if the people are suffering, it's because they haven't been able to get to the solution. So we brought him here to Celebrity Barbershop, finally Mels. And we're doing a nice film. We got Shotcha Film Studios pulling up with a documentary style presentation. We got a bunch of people that are sharing the information on their live and on their Instagram and Facebook accounts. So if you're live, if you're sharing this information, make sure you check out www.grandpasecret.com. Check out Dr. Kang. He's one of the most amazing brothers who helps heal a lot of different people. We treat a lot of different celebrities, a lot of regular people, a lot of moms. Just recently, my mother was supposed to have surgery, and she was able to avoid having surgery on the cyst on her breast by taking the herbs that Dr. Kang has recommended for her to take. And so what I want you guys to do is to just go out in your hood, in your community, and inspire somebody in your community. Let them know that they don't have to be suffering with the condition that they're suffering from. Let them know that there's solutions, that Dr. Kang has solutions, all natural, 100% all natural herbal solutions, www.grandpasecret.com. You can contact me, Mike T, 407-745-8642 if you have any questions. Watch our testimonials on YouTube, Grandpa's Secret Testimonials, or you can text my number and I'll send you a bunch of videos on Dr. Kang and some of the YouTube testimonials of the people that we've been able to help in our community. But right now, we're going to get into it. We in Brooklyn at finally Mels, so we're going to get some questions from this celebrity barber. Finally, Mel, tell us how you do in this community, Mel. How's the health of this community?
Well, I've been this is about one of my fourth business that I opened up in the same community. I've been in this community for over 30 years.
Wow.
Hired over numbers, probably over 100 blacks and Hispanic people gave me jobs. What I've noticed over 30 years is that cutting hair, basically, in these spots for like 10 to 15 years, I move around within the 5-block radius, is that the customers are passing away. So when the customers pass away, I lose business. You know what I mean? And the reason why we're passing away is the foods that we having in our grocery stores is unhealthy, and the things that they're not taught, we was never taught in high school how to eat healthy. So I'm just learning, probably within the last 2 years, this year and last year, I've been getting a little paperwork from here and there. Then my brother Rojo been passing through here with some knowledge. That's when it came to me like, wait a minute, maybe I could do something to change my life a little bit, make me stay here on Earth a little bit longer. Now, on that note, is that with in our black communities, is that we're dying mostly of high blood pressure or diabetes, high blood pressure, and there's something else, and thyroid diseases. You know, so when you go to the doctor, they'll tell you, yo, take this. Right now I'm on high blood pressure medicine, but it's not high. It's low, but it could get up there. Yeah. Then you could be on the borderline of sugar diabetes and stuff. We wasn't taught how to eat healthy. So being that I'm just learning, and then my brother was trying to constantly for a year trying to, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that. We don't cling to it fast enough because we wasn't taught that. So I'm no.
In addition to us not being taught that, we also don't really have access to good, healthy food. Like the food is already disconnected. It done traveled from wherever it traveled from. It done been refrigerated. It done put in the grocery store. Then you take it, and then you got It's another 8-hour, 10-hour process by the time you get it home, and then so the food has lost all of the vital ingredients, the vital nutrients. So our community is suffering from all of these different things, that diet-related stuff. And we do have solutions for those things. So one of the solutions that we were able to share with the community in Brooklyn is Dr. Kang has come up with this product called the Miraculous 5. The Miraculous 5 will treat 85 to 95% of all ailments in our community. So all of those diseases and things that you guys just started naming, we can treat those people, and we can fix a lot of those conditions simply by using the 5. The 5 comes with liver, gallbladder, kidney cleanse, inflammation package, a fat flush, a full body Rockstar cleanse, and superfood. And the 5 of those, you put those in your system. The 5 of those, you put those in your system. This is 4 of the 5 right here. You put these in your system, and what it does is it works like a synergy. It goes into your system and it begins to heal all of the different organs of your body and treat all of the different ailments that you have deficiencies in. So wherever the herb passes by and it has a deficiency in, it'll treat that area, it'll nourish that area, and then that area will begin to be able to grow and heal. And then what happens is that happens to your whole body, and then your body begins to grow and heal as you're putting the proper nutrients in it. And what I've noticed from taking it and what I've noticed from studying it is that it's damn near impossible to go to your grocery store and figure out the combination of what you need to figure out what you need for your health. And so what I did was go to the person that I thought knew the most about the information. How about the guy that grew up in the jungle with herbs growing all around and studying what the animals ate? So that's where I went to Dr. Kang, and I was able to draw from his information and understand that, wait, instead of me trying to figure out herb by herb what I can take, I could just press the easy button, call the guy who studied it his whole life, and I could just start helping people. And that's what we're doing. I'm bringing this to Brooklyn to help people. I don't even have to sell it. I don't sell this product. I just educate people, teach people, and help them. And when I help them, then that's where the success comes in. So there's a gray area though that's too large. It's after I tell you about the product and you know about it, and then the amount of time it takes for you to start getting help. That area is too large, because in that area we're suffering with what he's talking about: people dying, people getting sick worse, people coming up with more conditions because they waited too long in order to take those to take advantage. So if I were you, wherever you're looking from, do your research fast. I did my research over about a week. I studied the man for at least a week. I followed him. I researched everything he said. All of the stuff he kept telling me that I thought was crazy, and it kept coming out true. He was just blowing my mind with all of this information. So be inspired. Take it to your community. Share with your community. www.grandpasecret.com. Any disease, any ailment, we can fix most diseases using the herbs that I have in my hand. But if you have any specific conditions, you can call. He does a video consultation. The video consultation is $75. You call him, he'll look at you, he'll tell you exactly what's happening to your body and tell you exactly how to fix it. Most people that see us in person, they're usually paying $3,000 and up just to see him and talk with him for a few minutes, because they want that information. And in our community, it needs to become more prioritized, because people are sitting here with the information and not taking advantage. Meanwhile, people are trying to fly us around the country to fix their problems. So, Mel has a couple of questions for Dr. Kang, and we're going to get into a couple of quick minutes of how he became who he is and how we can help this community in Brooklyn.
Okay, as earlier I stated that I've been cutting hair in the same neighborhood for over 30 years. I started out probably with maybe 25 now. I'm up there in my 50s. Wow. Man.
Held it down.
Still healthy.
Held it down. Like
still living. No operations, none of that. But I was never taught how to live, how to eat healthy. I just learned, as I recently earlier told you, that the brother Rojo was telling me about you, and I was learning about other people. But the problem is that my clients was dying. A lot of them dying of these diseases, right? And I want to be able to help my community, if I can, to see if they can live a little healthy. I want to be able to give back to them. I've been giving back to the community for over 30 years with other things, but the most important thing, the most blessing, would be if they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
My question to you is, being that I'm new about you. I'm just learning about you. Right? I did a little research, not enough, but I wanted you here because I heard of other people, you know, one other person like you. And how do I know that, number one is that you're real? Because if I refer, I'm Mel. I'm East New York's finest. People travel around the world to come see me. And I'm blessed, and I'm blessed. This chair is blessed. That's why I've been in business for 30 years. So if I'm referring a lot of people to you, right, and my clients, over thousands and thousands of clients to you, and they come to you, and then dissatisfied, how do I know? I would like to know.
How do you know you can
tell
trust
them to assure them that
yes.
you're for real. You're not one of those people that's trying to, you know, do
Hustle.
you know what I mean?
Before you get into that, right?
Yeah. That's a simple question.
Camera down.
Yeah, before you get into that, right? I get into this a lot of times with a lot of people because they see me on the road and I'm usually by myself and I'm introducing it to, I'm literally coming to your house and saying, hey, I can help your grandmother get out of bed. And you're literally saying, I don't know, this sounds like it might be a quack, it sounds like it might be a hustle, this, that, and the other. First of all, we have better stuff to do. Like, we literally have better stuff to do.
Yeah.
Like, I train professional athletes, I'm a stylist myself, we have better stuff to do. We have no desire to hustle our community at all, none. Like, we want to build our community. We got kids in our community. We are the kids from our community. We are you. I'm a barber, I'm a stylist, I do the same work. You're not just a barber, you're a therapist. You sit here and you fix people's problems every week. They may think they coming to get a haircut, but they actually finding out how to deal with their girlfriend, they finding out how to deal with their mom, how to deal with their homework, how they deal with mother-father relationship or son-daughter relationship, whatever. So you're doing much more than just being a barber and being that businessman that you are in the community. You're also doing healthcare work. Maybe you just don't recognize it yet.
Nah, I've been
I
told you already. I'm blessed.
Yes, you knew. So, okay. So
the devil come at me a lot.
So one of the things that I've been having to deal with as a struggle is people kind of not believing what I'm presenting to them. And what Dr. Kang just says to me is, wash your hands and go, buddy. We got people to fix. We don't got time to deal with people who don't believe. We got time to fix the people who believe. If you want help, we help you. If you don't want help, then I'm going to try to help you, and then I'm going to watch you suffer because I know I can help you. But I tried to help you. So a lot of people are going to miss it, and a lot of people are dying because they're missing it. And a lot of people can be saved. There's been several people who there was opportunity to help them, and they took it, and they didn't have the stroke, or they didn't have the heart attack, or they didn't pass out. And then there's been several people who didn't take the opportunity, and they did. And then those aren't really the stories that we're excited about. It's like really sad. He tells me all the time of how depressing it is to know the information that he knows, and then to walk down the street and see people suffering the way that they do, knowing we can fix it. So yeah.
That's my testimony. And I'll show everybody
in
a minute. I was stage 4 breast cancer. After stage 4 breast cancer, the doctors gave me 2 years to live. They were going to take out my left kidney and then put me on dialysis for the other one. So I was completely bald. I'm going to show you this picture in a minute. I was completely bald. If it wasn't for this man sitting right here, I wouldn't be here to this day. Because he took out 3 months out of his busy schedule as a doctor to help heal me. And
one question to you. Is it expensive?
I mean, how expensive is your health?
Like,
I don't, in my opinion.
Well, I'll answer that question. You know, for years, you know, a lot of people, they talk about, you know, like doing business with our people or whatever. There's very, very few people. I had a lady or whatever, and she was like, oh, Dr. Kang support black business. If you saw my work or whatever, I have everything I do online. Sometimes people, they just talk or whatever. I coach and I mentor over hundreds and thousands of kids. Not just saying it. I send over 100 kids to school every year. I don't own a non-profit. Out of my pocket. I don't own a non-profit. A lot of people talk. So when this lady, she finally saw my work, she came back and apologized to me. Because a lot of us, we talk, oh, buy black, do this, do that, do that, do that, do that. For years, I did all this work for free. I traveled with my own money. I'm not starving. I want to make that clear. Because a lot of people, they come, I've developed 2,000 and something formulas. It's not arrogant. I've written over 10 books. I have over maybe like 6 or 7 inventions or whatever that I'm working on. So at the end of the day, I'm good on so many things. That's why I travel. I can afford. I've been on tour now. He'll tell you I was in Florida the day. No one pays for this. Just wanting to give. How much money have we collected? 0. Why am I doing this?
Teaching.
For my people. You see, sometimes, you know, we can talk or whatever. It's one thing talking, but it's one thing also being able to apply this. I've been on tour now, going to where my people are. You know, trying by all means or whatever to try to share them the information. I mean, at the end of the day, if people are skeptical, my work is online. When I started having medical doctors, oh, this guy is crazy. Now they themselves, they refer their patients to me or whatever. The brother who came here for thyroid, he was referred by a doctor in Atlanta or whatever. I have medical doctors who refer patients to me or whatever.
We have people who fly to come see him.
We have people.
All over. Yeah.
And so for years I did all of this for free or whatever, but what I realized with our people, sometimes you have to charge them. You know, I started charging people $3,000 just to see. Guess what? I still have clients. Because you know what? I know, how powerful. It's deeper. It's not, a lot of people think, oh, to understand what I know, you have to go read some books. Like a lot of our people here. Oh, I read some books. I was born into this. This is the difference. The Africans believe or whatever, you do not go to school to study medicine. You're born into it or you're not. You're going to hear people, I'm going to school to be a shaman. You see, if our ancestors were here or whatever, they'll be like, wow, what has happened to our people? They just think so whatever you cannot understand. People do not understand that the ceremonies that the Africans would do, where within one day they'll teach you 10,000 years of information in one day. This kind of knowledge is called osmosis. The average person don't understand that because they want to use this kind of mind, you know, this mind.
The underdeveloped
you know,
mind.
this underdeveloped mind, I say that, you know, to be able to comprehend a lot of spiritual things. So I'm not the one that people don't want to believe. All they just have to do, my work is online. If they, after everyone sees my work or whatever, they'll call me.
Okay, we all grew up as babies,
Yeah.
but we was born, and then we were raised into children. At what age, like he's a kid right there, and we're adults. At what age did you realize that you had this?
I was born into this. My grandfather was a shaman. His great-great-grandparents were shamans. Very few of us know what shamans is. Shamans were the medicine people in the African culture. They were like, they called them the catalyst between the people and God or whatever. So when you came to him, he didn't have to be like, oh, let's go do blood work or whatever. Looking at everyone here, he tested me yesterday. He picked me up from the airport. I told him, you can ask her. I just did a reading. I told her things that only her could have known. These are a few people I just talked to. They can tell you. They can testify. But if you lined up 100% of all my clients, they're going to tell you the same. No one has ever said, oh, you got it wrong. I've been doing this. This is the difference that makes me different from all the other people. You see the other people or whatever, sometimes they have to get blood work done. Looking at everyone, most of the time, I know what is going on within them. I know what is going on. I'm not asking. And if you watch some of my videos, people will tell you who wanted to have an accident coming and I've told them like, hey, watch out today. You can ask thousands of my friends, I'll tell you, whatever it says, you should pay attention. And people are like, how do you know? You see, the reason why they ask is because they wanted to use that undeveloped mind again to comprehend that it's not physical. They wanted to use their physical brain to understand that which is spiritual. And it never works. You see, when the dog smells and barks and things that you do not see, you had this kind of intuition, but you've lost it because you're eating all this garbage. You're living in a polluted place. So all these things or whatever are suppressed. Your third sense, everyone has this ability, but 99.99% of us, we've lost it all because of the things, because of our environment. Very few of us ever got to nurture it.
And going back in nature helps. Being connected to nature, putting yourself in nature, eating natural.
I don't think nobody might ask you this question, but like I said, I'm 58 years old now, and I had no operations and none of that. So I'm healthy. Because the only thing, when I got my checkup, the doctor told me.
That's what you see. As a doctor, if you told me to tell you the truth, you don't look healthy.
Yeah. But let me just ask you one thing. I eat meat, and I'm just learning this year that when we conditions and we was brought up and taught, we could go to the supermarket, you marry somebody, that when you get a good wife, she's gonna cook your dinner, make 3 meals every day. So they buying beef stew, steak, and all. This is red meat, and all of these red meats that they cook and they throw in these supermarkets in the hood.
Yeah.
We don't know if they was already had diseases in them. You know what I mean? They throw them in these supermarkets and kill them. All we know is that we go in there, oh, it look red and stuff, and it looks healthy, so we buy it. And we put our poison in our system. So I'm trying to convince my wife now that I'm still learning after these last month. I think we both need to stop eating so we can both live a little longer.
And it takes
so we be a vegetarian. Well, you know what I mean? Like
let's look at nature. It's very important. My grandfather always told me, like, son, do not become an educated fool. He said this word. He said an educated fool is one who goes to school, gets maybe to the highest level of education, maybe attains a PhD or whatever, but the common thing, you take a baby cat, a baby rat, a baby raccoon, right within their DNA, when they're sick, they don't go to their mother. Hey mom, I'm sick. Right within their DNA is the knowing on how to heal themselves. The $1 million question is, what happened to us? Are animals better than me and you? And are we better than animals? How many animals do you see overweight? How many animals do you see staying up all night to get, to make an extra money? A lot of the things, human beings, they're the only stupid animals who, in their own mind, they think they're smart. But if they watch how nature operates or whatever, they're going to see the simplicity. The law of simplicity is within nature. God does not make anything complicated. So the question is, what should we be eating? That is the question you ask. So we're going to look at how my grandfather looked at it. Like when we go to nature, every single animal that is a meat eater or whatever, they have claws. Every animal that is a meat eater, they have the canine unit. The meat eaters, they all have short intestines. And we have the opposite of that. Us as human beings, we have long intestines. We don't have canine unit. We don't have any claws. Every meat eater, guess what? They tear it and eat it. Me and you, we cut our meat, we cook it, or whatever. We season it. And the only reason we eat meat is because of the seasoning. If I bought raw meat and I gave everyone here who eats meat, they're not going to eat it. The reason being why? Because we're not meat eaters. So that alone is not, oh, doctor, are you telling me to be vegan or to be vegetarian? It's to look, every animal eats according to their type. The elephant, see how big it is?
The cow.
It's vegan, it's vegetarian, it eats, grass. Look at the rhino, let's look at the cow. We've just been conditioned. They know they don't have canine unit, so they're eating according to their specification. Every animal is eating according to specification. So you be the judge as of what you should be eating. If you're eating contrary to what you are, can you tear your own meat? My wife and I were in California, so we did a potluck. We had some friends who had farms or whatever, so we had some other friends that we brought. They're like, oh, I'm bodybuilder, I have to have meat. So what we decided was to bring, or whatever, we brought some chicken. We brought some live chicken and we brought some goat. So when they were serving the food or whatever, the people said they ate meat, we handed them goat and everyone took off running. Oh my God! I said, why are you running? I just wanted to prove a point. If you eat meat, you should be able to bite it and eat. They were like, oh no, we don't eat it like that. I'm like, oh, how do you eat it? You want to kill it. But you also have to understand what my grandfather said. Have you ever lost anyone in your life? Whom did you lose?
What you mean, like human being?
Yes, human being.
I lost my mother.
Oh, you lost your mother. Why didn't you eat your mother? You see, everyone is like, oh my God. I see the brother's face like, ugh, nasty. But guess what? Do we eat the cow alive or we eat it dead? So everything that's dead has to be buried.
The body's not a graveyard.
Your body's not a graveyard. So a lot of us, we use our bellies as graveyards. We're wondering why we look the way we look. Why are we feeling dead?
Yeah.
Everything, if we want life, we must put life within our bodies. So a lot of us, we're eating a lot of dead things. Did I answer your question?
That was deep.
And the digestion and the
Couldn't get no deeper than that.
Deep.
Yeah, and the digestion process for humans is like 6 hours. So if you cut a piece of meat and you put it on the side of on the side of the counter
That's
and
right.
just let
You're
the
watching.
meat sit there for 6 hours. That's exactly what's happening in your system. The same thing, except for you cooked it and it's seasoned. But that same meat that you leave on the counter for 6 hours, that ends up drawing bugs and stinking and all that stuff, that's what you're putting in your system.
Yeah. Same thing.
And
But-
even the question about...
And I'm not trying to judge, because I just stopped eating meat about a year ago. So I'm not trying to act like I know it all. But I definitely feel better since I stopped eating the meat. And I definitely re-educated myself. And I learned a lot of different things to eat besides meat. Yeah.
Even the question that you asked about, like, is it expensive or anything? One ambulance ride is like 500 to 700 or more.
1,200.
It's 1,200 now?
In
Yeah,
New
probably
York
up
City?
here. Yeah, New York City. And that's not even to get any type of treatment. That's just to get to the
some
hospital.
people
for
are
them to look at you.
dying, so they don't have to call an ambulance. They'd
Right.
rather die. Like
Right.
they're like, nah, I'm not gonna. It
Yeah,
costs too much. They'd rather sit there and bleed out.
And the problem with our people, we wait until it's too late, until we're having to go to the hospital, be like, oh, maybe I should try something different. That the doctors, maybe, you know, maybe they don't know.
And
They
I
always
think
catch
like,
things late.
yeah, and I think like that's one of the things that benefits with when you deal with us is a lot of the stuff is preventative. We can literally fix your issue before you have the issue.
Right.
You
Especially
cannot
when you
have.
start getting early signs.
Yeah, when you start seeing it, by the time you start seeing it, it's usually late. It's already too late. And if you start seeing it and you don't have anything to do about it, then it's definitely gonna be too late.
And even a lot of the illnesses, we think the diseases, they're not. They're just something, you know, which is called lifestyle. From the blood pressure that you have is your ability to not know how to discipline what you put in your mouth. If you show me someone who has any disease, and I'll show you someone who has no discipline, who don't understand what food is. The question we must ask ourselves, like, what is food? Do you know, I was speaking at Harvard and I was asking some of the students, I'd be like, what is food? Most people don't know what food is. They never ask themselves that question. What is food to nourish the body? Okay, so you can't take anything that's dead and put it in your body and think that is food. Food is that which nourishes the body. You can see the cow, you can see the horse, you can see them, that what they're eating actually is nourishing their body somehow.
Okay, have you written a book on how to tell people how to eat food the proper?
Guide to
You know,
becoming. Guide to
so
becoming.
I wrote a book, it's called Guide to Becoming a Vegan. Yeah, I do have a book, I do.
Alright, so I'm gonna leave some of that here. I have a showcase here.
Okay.
So you can put some
Yeah.
things in the showcase and I can pass it on.
Yeah.
These are not complication. You see, we've been, you know, indoctrinated so much or whatever. Look at all those diseases. They're mostly just lifestyle. If you show me someone who disciplined, that's why, you know, in ancient Africa, the most, you know, the person they carried on a higher standard was the person who can discipline what they put here in their mouth
Yeah,
or whatever. If you want to know how great you are,
yeah.
it's how what you put in your mouth. That's how we know greatness. It's not as of how smart or whatever. One who's great, it simply means they've cultivated all the different levels. You're considered a master because you knew how to discipline what you put here. And all these diseases or whatever, the people have not cultivated a level of discipline. Because if you discipline what you put here, then a lot of those diseases, all of those diseases, they're just lifestyle. Did you hear what I said? They're just lifestyle.
Yeah.
So they're not diseases. Because if they were diseases, you're not going to see a bear having blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. They're not. They're what we're eating. You do not have to suffer those diseases. Nature shows us that. Because if nature has those diseases, then we should be able to have it.
Yeah.
But it's because of what we're eating.
Oh, okay. Well, I need
So-
to-
So when you understand
I
that
need
or whatever,
help reverse.
beautiful.
Yes.
That is why she showed you the picture.
Yeah.
You saw the baldness.
Yeah.
You know, when we have baldness in nature, when we have stroke, all those things are the same thing. That particular problem can be seen in nature as drought. You know what drought is? Drought is when there's nothing that grows.
Yeah.
The way you're going to fix drought in nature, that's how you're going to fix that problem. You have to understand most of the problems that occur within the human body or whatever, those problems are also found in nature. So how do you fix drought or whatever? It's most of the time a lack of water. So for example, if you had to drink a glass of water every single day, right? And you started like, I'm going to just drink half a glass. If you're drinking half a glass, your body's going to shortchange. It simply means you're shortchanging yourself. So the body's going to take this water and distribute it to all the organs that need it the most. Which are the organs that need that water the most? Your legs. You have to what? Walk. Your digestion system has to be, you know, moist. Your eyes have to be moist. Your saliva has to be moist. It's going to be like, oh, the hair doesn't need it that most. it's going to take the water off. If you see a lot of people have baldness, it's what you call chronic dehydration. It's years of shortchanging oneself. Instead of them drinking that glass of water, they've been drinking half. Just like a plant, it doesn't matter how much you love your plant, you're not going to be like, this is the finest wine, I'm going to pour it inside. You're going to give it that which it deserves, which is water. So this is what happens to a lot of us, is that we're not understanding what element that each thing is needing. Oh, plant needs water. No matter how much you love it, you put coal, it dies. The human body, what does it need?
Yeah. Okay.
Those are the questions we must ask ourselves.
You got a vitamin C bottle, you take. You got vitamin A, vitamin B. So now if you're taking all these two medications with that, and you're taking these B12s and C's and this and that, is that healthy to take different vitamins all in one? Or is it something else that I can tell her to put in her system that can compensate?
Well, I can't really tell her to stop taking her medicine or whatever. All I can always...
No, I'm talking about that, the vitamins. The vitamins healthy too.
Well, yeah, a lot.
Because they can say, yo, take this and take this and take this, and it could be harmful to the body. Because we are taught to take vitamin B12 and BC.
And also the source of the...
You know what I mean? But so many different
Also
vitamins.
the source of the vitamin, too. You have to...
Well, you have to understand in the market or whatever, I'm a formulator. So I sit down with a lot of formulators all the time. There are 3 grades in which they make a lot of supplements. And a lot of the grades in the market or whatever, you can make synthetic vitamin. And then a lot of the middle class or whatever is half synthetic and half real. And then you have, the all natural, sometimes maybe the organic. This is the levels at which, most supplements. So when you go in nature, for example, the reason why, if I open any of this bottle or whatever, you're going to see the vitamin. It's very important. It looks like the shirt he's wearing. It looks like nature, green. My grandfather always tell people, like, go out there, what do you see the most? You see green, vegetation. It's very important, people understand. You don't see anything white, you don't see anything red. So your supplements, how should your supplements look? It should look green. It should look like nature. If your supplements is not looking like nature, it simply means it's synthetic. Are you hearing? It simply means it's synthetic. So it's very important that we're observing, what we're putting in our bodies. Any more questions?
No, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Okay.
I want to share something real quick in regards to what you just said. That's very important. I studied before I became an herbalist. I went to pharmacy school. I went to become a pharmacy technician.
Wow.
And what you just broke down about the natural, the semi-natural, and synthetic, and the synthetic is the same thing with the pH chart. You have your alkaline, your neutral, and your acidic. But most people, since they're living an acidic lifestyle, they go directly to synthetic. They don't even know about the neutral or even the alkaline base.
Right.
Now, I have a question in regards to just my journey. I've been a vegetarian over 20-something years. I developed and learned this lifestyle growing up in America, in New York. Of course, Panama, where I'm from, we grew up eating natural and whatnot. But I'm talking about the whole vegetarian lifestyle, because back in the days it was called Ital, right? It wasn't no vegan vegetarian. With your Ital is what? Vital. Now that I became one of those vegetarians who study show self-approval what I eat, I noticed that the vegan vegetarian culture, lifestyle, is not necessarily an African-based culture and lifestyle. Because when I meet with most of my African friends, they eat meat. They don't eat, they're not vegetarian. They don't vegan, juicitarian, like what? Where did
it come from?
That? Yeah.
Of course, it's an African. It originated from Africa.
Okay.
You're meeting an African that's vegan. Now, I am. You have to understand or whatever. A lot of people even talk about even like Ifa. You know about Ifa or whatever. There are 2 forms of Ifa. Actually, the real one or whatever they started, they're all vegetarian. You have to understand, Africa is the motherland that taught the world how to eat. They're the teachers of the world. They taught the world everything. Don't mind what is going on. It's just because a lot of these ones that are eating all these things or whatever, they've been lied to. My grandfather was the only vegan I knew. And he lived 105 years old or whatever. So grandfather talked about or whatever, like all these people were. But because of the lies. Remember, they came to steal a lot of our books or whatever. The people who built the pyramids are all vegetarian because they understood the power on how to heal the human body. A lot of the Africans that are coming from Africa or whatever, a lot of them, their great-great-grandparents used to be, but their parents didn't pass them down that knowledge or whatever. That's why I'm still walking that path. So very, very, are there few of them that are walking that path? Yes. There's a lot of them that are walking that path or whatever, because Africa is the motherland of medicine. You're talking about the science of medicine, compounding, you know, body preservation or whatever, all this knowledge. You know, one thing when I meet a lot of Africans, I always tell them that all you just have to do, what the Africans left to us, our forefathers, ancestors, are the pyramids. The reason why they left us the pyramids, they just wanted to show us how powerful we are. I always tell people when we feel inadequate, all we just have to do is think about the pyramid. A structure that no one on the face of the planet will be able to ever duplicate. This is what they left to us. Just like the food or whatever, I read the alchemy and the science on food preparation that ancient Africans, you know, left. My grandfathers had all these books or whatever. It's just that a lot of our people, you know, meat is one of those things that, you know, one thing about melanin is that they become addicted to things. So food is mostly like a drug or whatever. If you add sugar and ketchup to anything, they're gonna eat it. Even going through medical school, one of my research or whatever was about this chemical called monosodium glutamate, MSG. I did intensive, you know, research on MSG. Monosodium glutamate, what it is done is it's considered a cytotoxin. When you take the first, for example, you go to a buffet, this is what happens. So the common first thing, you go to a buffet and you take the first spoon, you eat it. Right away, MSG, it has like this spike. Oh my God, this food is so good. You eat and eat and eat. You watch the average person, normally at home they'll eat 2 plates of food, they get full. When they go to a buffet, they'll eat like 5, 6. Same amount of food. So the question is, what is triggering these people to eat more and less at home? This is, you know, as a scientist or whatever, you have to answer this question because of MSG. So as they eat and they eat, they get full. MSG disconnects the brain connection and the stomach connection becomes disconnected. So the brain, you know, the brain is, the stomach is like, I'm full. The brain is still saying, you know, I'm hungry, because there's that disconnection. So they find themselves eating more and more and more and more.
Does that have to do with not that cells lack of nutrients and now we feed it more of the belly than
no, it's because it's considered it's a cytotoxins, which is something that excites the brain. You have to understand or whatever, if you have so much of something in your body which has also gone into your blood, you start wanting more of that or whatever. But also most of the food there is so much is there, so no nutrient. If there's no nutrient or whatever, your body just want more. It's wanting nutrient or whatever, but you're just giving it empty nutrient. So you find yourself eating more. And then even after MSG goes into your system, it cuts, you know, most of the time you find people like, oh, I'm not sweating. Oh, I don't like to sweat. But if you're not sweating, it simply means you're a pig. The reason why pigs are unclean is because they don't sweat. And so it creates this silicone effect within your cells, where you're not sweating in, you're not sweating out. These are the effects that MSG does that very few people. But if you go even to the Chinese restaurant, you're going to hear them. They themselves, they never eat the food in the buffet. They always make their own food in the back. I was speaking in Salt Lake City and one of the ladies said, yeah, I took over this restaurant for my mom. My mom said, never eat this food. These are the seasonings you cook for your own food. And she's like, you're so right. But she never knew why. The mother told her that. You never see them taking their own food and eating right there, because they'll understand the effect MSG. If you go to a lot of European countries, they ban MSG. It's only America that's letting MSG because it's really, really bad. Even, for example, I mean, anyone who's been in the lab, these are things or whatever, having access to a lab. If you take like even a dead rat, rats normally don't eat their dead ones. If you take a dead rat, you put MSG to it or whatever, you leave it there, a rat will eat it. Whatever they will not eat, whatever most animals will not eat or whatever, you put MSG, they'll eat it. That should tell you something.
I watched a video where where it's raining outside, you can make it stop. Where I watched some videos, a lady gave a testimony that she had was it herpes?
Yeah.
Or something like that, and she was cured.
We do not cure.
I watched animals come to you and drink water out your hand. And I wanted to ask you in person, right? Because the same way that I'm showing these videos to my clients that's in this year, the same way I'm going to tell them about, listen, man, y'all need to start living healthy. Is that it was real.
It's real.
So I wasn't that, I'm just watching a video, just be watching. Like I could be showing the video to my client and they're like, oh, that ain't real. So I'm asking you face to face, so when I put the next video on TV, that man right there, he said it ain't, it's real.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
this is not made up movies.
And this is one thing that has been my biggest battle is on people or whatever. You know, this is the biggest problem about doing what I do or whatever. A lot of us will literally put in our life on the line just, you know, because of the love we have for our people. What a lot of people don't understand is I didn't choose this path. Even when people see me like, oh, you know, I talk about our people, sometimes a lot of us with theory based. You know, I don't really like to even talk about my work. I'm more into action or whatever. You know, like I remember there was a seminar in Idaho and we're meeting with all these shamans and healers. And when it started raining, they were running into the tent. I said, well, true healers, true shamans, they don't do that. We stop the rain. We stop the rain, and after we're done partying, then we let it fall or whatever. But this is what the world has become or whatever, is that everyone talks about theory. Oh, theory, theory, theory. And my grandfather would be like, no, or whatever. You got to keep mastering your craft or whatever. I was, you know, from birth. If it was raining, after my grandfather, he was the man or whatever, when they had like the farmer's market outside, if it was raining, hey, Mr. Simon, he'll go and stop the rain. And people, you know, finish, and then when it was done, he claps and, you know, the rain falls back. You know, and you know, even when I was born or whatever, after grandfather died, my uncle was like, hey, it's raining. He took me and ran to the marketplace like, oh, you need to stop the rain for the people. And for the first time I put my hand up or whatever, you know, it happened. And so I tell a lot of people, even like playing with lions and tigers or whatever, in nature or whatever, I did not choose this path. Sometimes people, they want to like, you know, especially like black people or whatever, they wanted to fight, they wanted to see, oh, you know, this is lie, this is this, even when they say it. Because this is our nature, we have like this crab mentality. Instead of like, hey, yeah, we have a brother, he knows how to do this thing. Instead of, hey, okay, I need to maybe put my hand and support him so he can go up or whatever. I mean, I get supported by different communities, from Asians to Jewish or whatever. Everyone embraces me for what I'm able to do. But sometimes my biggest battle is like my own people.
Always.
You know, it's like, oh my God, oh, he thinks he knows this or whatever. I'm like, all you just have to do is see my work. Because a lot of people talk. You know, all they have to do is just go online. They're going to say, those are things I didn't even think you saw that, but I don't walk around bragging about those things. For me, it's just something that is normal, unless, you know, people run into it. Yeah.
What I want to say is we have a sign-in sheet for everyone who's here who would like to get their consultation, because we have to go to another event in Harlem. We actually doing a tour. Yes. We at Raw Space Gallery from 6 to about 11 today. So y'all welcome to come. Today is our intro tour. Yes. So y'all got the first day presentation here. Yes. Mel, finally, I told you. And
finally, Mel.
If anybody would like a consultation, you can put your name, number, and information on here. Queen Isis will follow up on that note. And also, we do have the products here, so if anybody interested in getting their products, you can reach out. While we in town, you should get it while Dr. Kang is around, okay?
Highly suggested. You get a whole lot of information, you get a whole lot of healing. A lot of people in our community can feel better. We can help some people. I've been trying to help almost every member of my community, every member of my family. I want a lot of people. Harlem, if you're on live and you're in Harlem, we'll be at Raw Space in about 2 hours. I'll be at Raw Space. So all of my people from Harlem, come meet us up there. Come talk. All of that. I've been coming through Harlem for about 8 months, just telling people about this information, and I'll be treating several people up there with some serious conditions. So I hope the people with those conditions show up and tell us how they feel now, and then I hope those people who need help show up so that we can help you in the future. And just come. Don't worry about, you know, any excuse. No excuse will do. Show up. That's it. We don't care about, it's too far, it's too much. We don't care none about that. Show up.
And I just want to give a shout out and an honor and salute to all my elders. You know, they say honor your elders for your days to be longer and stronger.
Powerful pioneers.
First and foremost, I want to salute Dr. Sylvia. She was one of the first doctors who know about the alkaline lifestyle, who approve of what we're doing here. And right now, she moved to North Dakota because, you know, there's a lot of spiritual warfare with these holistic doctors in New York. So we want to give a shout out to Dr. Sylvia. I want to give a shout out to Dr. E, who blessed us with the Beamer machine, because he see the work we're doing with the elders, see the work we do in the community. He's like, brother, pioneers, y'all need this.
Yes.
So now we got the Beamer machine. Everyone who would like to get on the machine on Saturday, come out. We salute to Dr. E. We salute to Dr. Kang, because like I said, I always wanted a council of elders as a young adult, that we can go to people who have right knowledge. You know, we learned from Marcus Garvey. You know, Marcus Garvey didn't like people to be ahead of him. So it's important to have people who have that knowledge and more, so that you can go to someone for counsel. So I thank you, Dr. Kang, for being part of the team and mobilizing as we mobilize the community for the next 2 weeks. So come along with us. And also I want to give a powerful shout out to one of our other master teachers, Dr. Baba. Baba Fitzroy, 83 years young.
Yes, yes.
Who's showing us that our health is our wealth.
Too.
And when I'm telling you, I don't think brothers and sisters can keep up with Baba Fitzroy. So definitely stay tuned, because I would like to, you know, Baba Fitzroy to share about quantum touch, what we call omnipoint, where we actually talk about reversing disease, pain using energy healing. So I just want to ask one question.
Bring him in for a seminar.
Yes, I just want to ask one question before we close out, and I want to ask it to Baba Fitzroy. What are some of the what is one thing you can share with us as young brothers that we can be able to grow young, you know, 83 years young, looking vibrant and energetic
Sharp,
like you, my brother.
Mentally sharp,
you know.
What goes in comes out.
That's it. Deep. That's it. You got to meet with my brother. Give him thanks.
A very few words. What goes in comes out.
What goes in comes out.
Stand. One of the things that I am very, very concerned about is that we don't stand guard on the gates of our brain. We let anybody come in and leave what the imprints they want to leave on our brain. We sit before that idiot box, and some of us look at it all day and take whatever comes and we are amazed, and have our children doing the same thing. It leaves imprints on your brain. Come to things like this. Listen to people who has done the work. Follow those that is paving the way for you. Believe. And if you're asking for anything, ask for understanding. So when the gentleman talk, you could grasp what he said. Stand guard on the gates of your mind, man. Don't let nobody come with their dirty shoes and walk over your mind and leave a bunch of SHIT imprints on your mind. Okay, my brother?
That's right.
That's
And lastly, I just want to say is Pioneers is doing some great things in the community. When I first got into this health field, all of the different doctors, I work with Dr. Sabi, work with Queen Afua, work with Dr. Africa, work with Dr. Bombay, and none of these doctors, because they have their own different understanding, they never wanted to come together. And I didn't like that as a young brother growing up in this wellness. Because I know Brookdale Hospital, how much people got suffering there. Woodhall, you know, I had few of my aunts had miscarriages there. You know, we can go and all, you know,
hospitals.
You already know Brookdale.
Hospitals.
So I am honored and pleased that Pioneers are setting the tone that we can bridge these gaps where we have master teachers come together and show unity in the community.